This is a brief introduction on moving from individual firm to market supply curves. Here we see the supply schedule. The supply schedule is a table that lists the quantity supplied for a good or service at various prices. Here we have the entire market supply schedule. All the way on the right column is our market supply. Each individual firm, like firm A, B, C, and D, also have their individual firm supply schedules listed. Each individual firm has various prices listed and the quantities that they will supply at those prices. You can see that as price is going up from 1 to 4, that firms are also increasing their production from 1 to 4, or say from 1 to 2. They're going at various rates, but they're all increasing as the price increases. What we can do with this supply schedule is take each individual firm's supply schedule and we can add them together, given the prices, and get the market supply schedule. So what we do is we say at a price of 0, how much is firm A willing to produce? How much is firm B willing to produce? How much is firm C, D? And then we add those together and we get the market production at a price of 0. We can see in this case that no one is willing to provide any supply to the market for 0 price. Then we can move on and we can say at a price of 1, how much is firm A willing to produce? B, C, D. And what we can do is we can say, okay, at a price of 1, therefore then the market will have a total of 2 units provided. You can do this at the other prices as well, prices 2, 3, 4, etc. We can see that at a price of 4, firm A is willing to provide 4, firm B 1, firm C 2, firm D 5, for a total market supply at that point of 12 units. So the quantity supplied at a price of 4 would be 12 by the market. This is our supply schedule. We can use it to put together the entire market supply curve from this information by holding prices constant and then seeing how much each firm would be willing to supply at those prices. You can do the exact same thing here, but with supply curves. So in this case, we only have 2 firms, firm 1 and 2, and then the market supply curve, right? And what you do is you hold prices constant, and then at those prices, you see how much quantity is each firm willing to produce. So here, let's start with firm 1, and let's say at a price of 1, how much is firm 1 willing to produce? Well, at that price, we look at the supply curve, and it turns out they're willing to produce 10 units. So at a price of 1 from firm 1, we get 10 units. But now let's look at firm 2. Firm 2 at a price of 1, right? How much are they willing to produce? Well, again, 10 units. Okay, so firm 1 at a price of 1 will provide 10 units, and firm 2 will provide 10 units as well. So when we look at the market supply at a price of 1, how much does the market provide? Well, lo and behold, it should provide 20 units. All that we're doing basically is adding up the supply curves horizontally from the individual firms to get the market supply curve. We do that at all the various prices. So at price 3, we have a quantity of 15 from firm 1 and a quantity of 15 from firm 2. So at a price of 3, the entire market should have how many? Well, 30. And lo and behold, that's what we have here. So you add up horizontally the supply curves to get the market supply curves. You go from the firm or individual firms to the market by adding horizontally. One last point to wrap this up. This is exactly what we also did with our demand curves. So here we have an individual demander consumer 1 and an individual demander consumer 2. And what we do to get the market demand for that good is we take the individual demand curves, right? And we add horizontally. So we take the prices as given, we hold them constant. So we say at a price of 1 here, we say how many units? Well, consumer 1 wants 2. At a price of 1, how much does consumer 2 want? Consumer 2 wants 1 unit. So we have to say, okay, well at a price of 1, consumer 1 wants 2, consumer 2 wants 1. At a price of 1, we should have a market demand of 3 units. Well, at a price of 1, if we look at our market demand, we have those 3 units. And so that all works out. So you add horizontally with demand just as you do with supply.